Hello student, today we are going to start accounting equation. We will take some of the business transactions and we will form accounting equation according to them. First equation, that is the business started with cash. This is the most common entry that will be happen when a business is started. Business started with cash. We will form accounting equation by this information. When the business is started, it means it affects the capital. Business started, it is owner who is putting the money, that is known as capital, and the amount that is bringing into the business is cash. These two items will be affected. Now we will form the accounting equation according to it. Accounting equation is asset is equals to liabilities plus capital. If you see, he is bringing the cash into the business, cash is increased, and as well as the capital is also increased. Both the sides increase. Assets increases, that is cash increases, and the capital also increases. When he brings with cash, he brings machinery. And then we will make machinery here. And machinery also increases. We suppose stock, he brings stock or goods. Then we will make here stock. The stock will also increase. Whatever assets he is bringing to the business, that is going to increase, as well as the capital is also going to increase. We will add all the amount, and that is the capital. Whatever he brings into the business to start the business, that is his capital. And the goods, we can explain it goods here again. Goods is the thing that he does it regularly. That a businessman deals with is known as goods. Now come to the another transactions, that is purchase goods. That is first we will take purchase goods. Goods is purchased means it is purchased on cash. Cash is reduced, and goods or stock. Goods or stock will also increase. When we purchase goods, both cash and goods, cash will reduced and goods will be increased. It is assumed that it is bought in cash. When nothing is, no information is given, it is bought in cash. Now we take the another example, second one. Purchase goods for cash. Here explicitly it is given that the goods is purchased for cash. In this transactions only it is given purchase goods. So both the transactions are same. If it is not given for cash, it is assumed to be bought in cash. Now we will take the third one, purchase goods from Ram for cash. Here name is given as well as cash is given. Both name and cash is given, it means it is cash purchase. It is cash purchase, same treatment. The treatment we does it here, and here. All the three transactions will give you the same treatment, whether it is given in cash or not. It is cash. It is explicitly given in cash. It is cash. Here name is also given, but cash is also given. Then we will take it is in cash. Now the fourth one, purchase goods from Ram. When we say the name is given, name here is given Ram, and cash is not mentioned. That means we have bought from Ram and goods we have bought. Ram is, we bought on credit. Ram is a creditor. Ram is a creditor. Therefore, our assets, in asset side, stock will increase, and in the liability side, we write creditors, and creditors will increase. When we bought goods from Ram, only name is given, no cash is given, it means goods are bought on credit, and when the goods are bought on credit, our stock is increasing, goods are being bought, as well as our liabilities are also increasing. We bought goods from Ram. Ram is a creditor. Creditor is also increasing. Now we see here purchase goods on credit. It is explicitly given here goods are purchased on credit. Whether goods are purchased from Ram or whether it is goods purchased on credit, both the transactions means the same thing. That is, the effect on the accounting equation will be same. Nothing is going to change. Now we come here on sale, goods sold. When the goods are sold, nothing is given, it means it is on cash. Goods sold for cash. Both are same, equal. Goods sold to Ram, no. Goods sold Ram for cash. You see these three transactions. Goods sold, whether it is written as goods sold or it is written as goods sold for cash, or it is written as goods sold to Ram for cash. It means goods are sold on cash. Cash is going to increase. Cash is going to increase and our stock is going to reduce. We have to deal with this situation. Our cash is going to increase and stock is going to reduce. In all these three transactions, they mean the same thing. Now we come to the next one. Sold goods to Ram. Sold goods to Ram or goods sold on credit. Name is given but no cash is given. Here explicitly given it is on credit. Both these entries mean the same thing. Here our debtors is going to increase. Debtors are those persons to whom we sold goods on credit. So debtors is going to increase and stock is going to reduce. When we sold goods on credit, it means our debtors are going to increase as well as our stock is going to reduce. Now sometimes given that we sold the goods and its cost price is given and it says that it is sold at a profit of some percentage might be given. So we have to find out the selling price here. For this transaction, we have to find out the selling price. First we write the cost price. Cost price is 40,000. Then profit is 20%. Therefore our selling price will be 40,000 plus 8,000 is equals to 48,000. 8,000 comes when you calculate 20% of 40,000 is 8,000. The cost price plus profit is equals to selling price. So how this statement is going to affect on accounting equation, we will see the effect on the accounting equation. First we will see, right? Goods costing on profit, 3/4 is received on cash. Here the transaction, we will see this one transaction. Goods costing 40,000 sold at a profit of 20%, 3/4 received in cash. So this selling price 48,000. We will divide into two parts. 3/4 we received in cash and 1/4 is on credit. That means debtor. This is cash, that is debtor. 3/4 is 36,000. We received in cash and 12,000 is debtor. Then accounting equation that is going to affect is cash is going to increase by 36,000. Debtors is going to increase by 12,000. The stock is going to reduce by the cost price of 40,000. No effect on liabilities, but capital is going to increase by 8,000. That is the profit. Profit is the addition in the capital. The goods that we sold, cost price is going to reduce 40,000. Cost price of the goods was 40,000 and cash we got received is 36,000 and the on credit we sold is 12,000. That is debtors. If you see this equation, this holds to true. You see 36 plus 12,000, 48,000 minus 40 is 8,000. Capital is also 8,000. No effect on liabilities. अब हम लोग करेंगे आगे expenses. सैलरी, एक्सपेंसेस में खर्चे हैं सारे हमारे, जो भी खर्चे हैं वो सारे एक्सपेंसेस में आते हैं। जैसे हम सैलरी पे करते हैं, expenses are included, all the expenses, all the money spent, that we spend the money on, like salary, we pay salary, we pay rent, we pay interest, that is our expenses. All the expenses are a reduction in the capital of the owner. So it is going to affect the capital. Capital is going to reduce, as well as when we talk about expenses, we are paying it, our cash is getting reduced. The cash is reduced as well as capital is reduced by the amount that will be given there. All the expenses are going to affect the capital. Reduction in capital as well as reduction in cash. When we talked about revenues, we get example like rent received, dividend received, interest received, sales, interest received, rent received. These are the revenue. This is the income. Is cash is coming into the business. Cash will increase as well as capital is going to increase. Both will increase. Cash as well as capital, both are going to increase. It is going to affect both cash as well as capital. Now coming to outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses are those expenses which have not yet been paid. They have not yet been paid. So this does not involve cash. Outstanding expenses does not involve cash. They are affecting liabilities. Liabilities, here we write outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses. It is going to increase. Because we haven't paid yet, we have to pay it into the future. In future we have to pay these expenses. So there are liabilities. Liabilities are increasing, as well as it is affecting the capital also, because it is going to increase our expenses, so capital is going to reduce. There is a reduction in the capital. Now we come to prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses are those expenses which have been paid in advance. We have paid these expenses in advance, therefore they are our asset. Prepaid expenses are our asset. And the expenses are going to, prepaid expenses are going to increase. Second effect, it is going on cash. Cash is going to reduce. When we pay something, our cash is reduced. So cash is reduced, prepaid expenses is increased. Now come to income received in advance. Income received in advance are those cash receipts which is related to income whose performance has not yet been done. We have not performed the act and we have received the amount. That is income received in advance. This is a liability. Income received in advance is a liability, because if the act will not be done, we have to return this amount. So this is liability. Liability is going to increase. We will write in liability income received in advance. Income received in advance. It is going to increase, as well as it is affect cash also, because something you are receiving the cash is going to increase. So liability side is also increased, asset side is also increased. Now comes to accrued income. Accrued income are those income whose receipt you have not received, but the act you have done. You have performed the performance, but you have received the cash receipts. So this income, accrued income, is the amount that you are going to receive in the future. So this is our asset. Accrued income is our asset. We will write here accrued income in asset, and we will increase it. As well as our income will increase, that is affecting the capital also. Capital is increased. Both accrued income increase, capital increase, our balance will always be equal. Now we come here on drawings. Drawings is the amount of goods or anything which is related to the proprietor. When he use it for personal purposes, then we say that it is drawings. Drawings are the goods withdrawn by the proprietor for personal use, or he had paid the cash of the business for his household expenses. Or his income tax is paid, then also it is a drawing, because income tax is related to the proprietor's income, not the business income. Life insurance premium is also of the proprietor, not the business. So these are all drawings. Drawings is the reduction in the capital. Drawings are the reduction in the capital. We will reduce drawings from the capital, and if he has withdrawn goods, then it is reduction in the stock. If the proprietor has taken the goods, then it is the stock, reduction in stock. Or if he has taken the cash, then it is the reduction in the cash. Income tax is paid, life insurance is paid, payment is done for his household expenses, then it is cash, reduction in cash. And when goods are withdrawn for personal use, then is the reduction in stock. Now we talk about depreciation. Depreciation is the reduction in the value of assets. If you bought a new car and if you try to sell it on the next day itself, you will not get the full price. There will always be a reduction in that price of the car. That is known as depreciation. If you bought machinery today, then also it is if you bought machinery today and if you sell it after some day, then it also you will get less amount. That is also depreciation. Depreciation treatment is reduction in the asset, particular asset. If it is on machinery, then it is reduction in machinery, as well as it is reduction in capital also, because it is a non-cash expense. Non-cash expense means reduction in capital also, and in machinery it is depreciation will be charged on particular machinery, on particular asset. On particular asset, that assets will be reduced. Interest on capital. Now we will study interest on capital, interest on drawings, further capital introduced. Interest on capital. If you understand what is interest on capital, the capital that is owner has invested into the business, on that interest is provided by the business to the owner. From the standpoint of view of business, it is an expense, and from the point of view of owner, it is a receipt, it is a profit. So it is going to affect the capital. When we talked about interest on capital, capital is going to increase and capital is going to decrease. This transaction affect the capital side only. Capital is increased, capital is decreased also. From the point of view of owner, he has received the interest, his capital will increase. And from the point of business, it is a loss, it is an expense, therefore also capital will be reduced. Interest on drawings. When we talked about interest on drawings, it is same treatment that we does on interest on capital. Here also capital is going to be affected. Capital is increased, capital is also decreased. Interest on drawing is the interest charged by the business on the drawings made by the proprietor. So it is an income from the business point of view. So therefore it is added in the capital, and from the point of view of proprietor, it is a loss. So therefore its capital is going to reduced. When we talked about further capital introduced, or he increases his capital during the business. After starting the business, he might bring his additional capital into the business later on. So his capital, when he brings additional capital, that affects our cash. Cash is increased, as well as capital is also increased. Both cash and capital will increase. Now we talk about investment. When a business has some extra money, then it can invest. It can put that money into useful use. It can generate income from that money. It can buy shares, debentures or bonds of other companies, of government also. Bonds are issued by the government also. Company can invest, business can invest that money into the bonds also. It can purchase shares of other companies, debentures of other companies, or it can purchase government bonds or bonds of other companies. On this, it will generate some interest, some income, some dividend income. It is a income generating asset. So investment is our asset. On asset side, we will write investment, and investment is going to be increased, as well as cash is reduced. When we are investing That means we are putting some money, we are departing cash from our side, so cash will be reduced and investment will increase. Now we take another transactions where goods are reduced but they are not sold. It means they are not sold to, our goods are reduced. There is reduction in the goods available with us, but we are not selling them. For example, there is a loss by fire or there is a theft. When the goods are stolen or when the goods are destroyed by fire, in both cases we are not receiving any money. We are not selling them, we are not receiving any money, but our stock is reduced. Withdrawn by proprietor. When goods are withdrawn by proprietor, business is not getting any cash. It is just a reduction in the goods available with the business. When it is given as charity, charity means it is given as free. So therefore, we are not receiving any money. Our goods are reduced. When you give the goods as free samples means advertisement expense. This is advertisement expense. This is advertisement expense. When we are giving goods as free sample, in all these cases, business is not getting any cash. Only the reduction in goods is happening. So stock is going to reduced by the amount that happens by loss or that happens by charity, free samples or withdrawn by the proprietor. If it is a loss, it is always reduced by capital. Capital is reduced. In case of loss, capital is reduced. Goods withdrawn by proprietor, that is drawings, that is also capital is reduced. When we give as a free sample, that is advertisement expense, that is also an expense, that is loss, that is also capital is going to reduce. So all these transactions will affect on two sides. Stock is reduced, capital is reduced. When insurance premium is paid, it is different from life insurance premium. Life insurance premium is for the proprietor, that is drawings. We had clarified it earlier. Now this is insurance premium. This is a business expense. Business expense means cash is going out, cash is reduced, and capital is also reduced. Insurance premium is an expense for the business, therefore capital is also reduced. Now we will take a last entry, last transaction. Suppose goods are destroyed by fire. Goods destroyed by fire. Rupees 40,000. And we have an insurance, we have paid the premium on this, and the insurance company admitted claim of insurance company paid rupees 30,000. You see, students, when we insure our goods, the insurance company is never going to pay us more than the loss. It is always admitted the claim which is less than the amount of the loss. So, goods is destroyed by 40,000 rupees, insurance paid is 30,000, so there is a loss of 10,000. Here the loss is 10,000. So, capital is going to reduce by 10,000. The loss amount is reduced by capital and the insurance company is paying you 30,000, that is cash is going to be increased by 30,000. 30,000 cash increase and the stock that is destroyed by fire is reduced by 40,000, that is the cost price. We always take the cost price. This is the cost price. Costing rupees 40,000. Thank you, student.